So I'm really excited to dive into this discussion, but I think let's get started with a little bit more about what you guys do and how you got started. So I know you have always been, really passionate about traveling, but when did you think of starting your own travel blog and decide to, share your travel stories with the public?
So this happened back in 2016. I had been to several countries, and I was also working in the field of digital and content creation and media, obviously. So I was always passionate about creating content and creative ideas and all of that. And my folks and my friends, they had been telling me to share the stories from the trips that I've been. I was kind of unofficially playing a tour guide for my friends and family. So and I, to be fairly honest, since quite a few years before, like before 2016, I have always had this thing in my mind that how do I get into travel journalism? The serious kind, the kind you see on BBC and Nat Geo and all of that. But neither I had a degree in journalism nor did I have a degree in filmmaking, which are the two career paths you take for going into travel journalism. So um, that sort of, I thought that, maybe starting a blog is an easy entryway. You create content, start telling stories about your travels, and then see where it goes. Maybe one day it kind of leads me into travel journalism. So that is how I started. And then my first starting point was putting up a blog because I was into writing and I wanted to put up a really nice website. And then at that time, Instagram was also growing. So that's how I started, like with a blog. But then obviously first I came up with the name and everything, and that was also a process of, what should I call my blog? What should be the identity? So that's how it started.
Awesome. So Safa, you used to work with other companies before, then you obviously left your job and start your own thing. So what made you take this huge leap of faith? Tell us about your journey a little bit.
Sure. So basically, I was first I started my career with an activation agency, which is BTL marketing, and I did about 2 years of that. And Coca-Cola was actually one of my clients. So I left my first job because I wanted to pursue, masters, and I decided to quit my job. But turns out my client had an opportunity for which I applied, and I moved all the way to Lahore for Coca-Cola's digital marketing position. And honestly, before that, I had no idea about digital marketing. I was so new to it, but I got the position and I knew that I had to learn at the job. And I just kind of fell in love with digital marketing all on its own. And due to personal circumstances, I had to come back to Karachi. So I knew my progress would not be the same if I'm working from another city. So I decided to get another job here in Karachi at Red Bull. And after that, I think about 8 or 9 months of that, I just couldn't fit over there. And I decided to just walk in to my boss one day and just say, you know what, I'm quitting and I'm just gonna go and do my own thing. And it took me about 2 days to like register my company, come up with a name, and and within a week I had my first client, and this was, I think, about almost 3 years back now. So I took a very big leap of faith. To be honest, it was very impulsive, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Like, just don't quit your job. Don't do that. But if you do act on impulse, definitely, do everything you can to, just make sure you prove everyone else wrong, and then you get your goals.
Awesome. So we'll try to keep our conversation a little bilingual ताकि जो हमारी audience Facebook पे भी देख रही है Zoom पे सबके साथ involvement रहे और engagement throughout the session काफी interactive discussion रहे. ठीक है. So हमारा जो आज का topic of discussion है is around digital marketing and what the future holds. So we all know how digital marketing has in the past decade kind of transformed जिस तरह businesses अपनी marketing strategies develop और implement कर रहे हैं. हम पहले देखते थे कि television, radio, print, billboards पे main focus होता था brands का, but now brands want to reach their consumers through the digital world. It has kind of influenced our way of thinking, how we make purchases, or even हमारा perception about brand भी इससे बहुत change हुआ है. And I personally believe that this digital marketing has kind of humanized that connection between brand and consumers. And it's I think really important for consumers as well to kind of relate to the brand. So मेरा first question आप लोगों से इसके around होगा कि since you both are obviously digital content creators और आप दोनों अपनी digital marketing agencies भी run कर रही हैं, so how do you think how important it is to have a right digital marketing strategy in place, like as a brand, as an influencer, or as a startup who's just starting out? Anam can start, yeah.
Sure. So, see, having a digital strategy is basically the first starting point, because whenever no matter what aspect of your brand or your marketing you're planning, definitely you need to have a strategy, whether that's marketing or your finance or your operations or HR. You need to have a strategy in place, and obviously digital is something that for a lot of companies for whom it is uncharted territory. So obviously before they enter into it, they need to have a strategy, because a lot of things will come as a result of it. For example, the biggest question is for marketeers who have traditionally put their budgets behind TV and radio and outdoor. So unless they don't have a strategy, they wouldn't understand कि हमें point A से point B पे पहुंचना कहाँ है और कब तक पहुंचना है और उसके लिए हमें कितने पैसे चाहिए होंगे, and whether we are going to pull that budget out from our TV का spend or radio का spend or print का spend. So a strategy kind of outlines that, और हम क्यों जा रहे हैं digital पे, हम सिर्फ awareness करने के लिए जा रहे हैं या हम अपना e-commerce भी set up करेंगे and we're going to sell our products via our digital medium. So those are again like two big different decisions or strategies on their own. What exactly do you want to do? How do you want to do it? What is the time frame? Do you want to first grow your platforms from zero to some number? आपका goal क्या है? Direction क्या है? I think that is absolutely crucial, because you can't just jump onto it, because digital भी इतना vast field है. There's too much into it. You can't just jump out without a plan. So I think, it's crucial to have a strategy in the first place.
Awesome. Safa, you want to add to this?
So basically, मुझे ये लगता है कि जब से digital marketing बहुत ज़्यादा normalize हो गई है और pretty much the reason why digital marketing became sort of like a household, or every business sort of wanted a piece of it or understand it or use it, was because it is so customized. It is not like TV that this is the rack rate और यही आपने पे करना है और आपका प्रोडक्ट अगर छोटा है तो रेलेवेंट नहीं है, बड़ा है तो रेलेवेंट है, आप अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं. डिजिटल मार्केटिंग वाज अफोर्डेबल, customized, targeted, and I think that's why it became the future that we talk about. So as for digital strategy, because it became so normal, everybody who has even no marketing background or has no business background can get into it, because there are probably millions and millions of courses out on the internet. There are millions of workshops where you can understand digital marketing और आप उसको implement कैसे कर सकते हैं अपने brands के लिए. If you go on Facebook or Instagram right now, you'll probably come across ads telling you, hey, take a digital marketing course और अपने brand को किस तरह से आपने boost करना है. So it has become not need of the hour. It is now essential to run a small or a big business, because that is where the audience is. As for strategy, a lot of people don't understand कि strategy लिखी कैसे जाती है, वो strategist नहीं होते या फिर उनको समझ में नहीं आता. But अगर मैं simply अगर उनको ये बताऊं तो वो इस तरीके से कि आपने अपने basically goals लिख लिए हैं कि मैंने अपने product को इन लोगों को reach out करना है और मैं चाहता हूँ कि वही 100 लोगों को reach करें और at least 20 लोग मुझसे खरीदें. तो अगर आपके दिमाग में ये goal होगा तो eventually अगर आप उसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे और समझेंगे, you'll be able to come across कि okay, I want to reach 100 people. I want to go through Facebook, and Facebook is my audience. I want to sell. Let's take orders online. Let's take orders on Instagram. Let's take orders on Facebook. तो अगर आपको आपके goals पता हैं business के या even for an influencer, you'll understand कि आपकी strategy कैसे बननी है.
Great. I think this kind of establishes कि कितनी crucial digital marketing है nowadays, or we also see a lot of brands experimenting with new innovative ideas of reaching out to their customers through digital world. हर रोज कोई हमें बहुत ही different strategy नजर आ रही होती है, digital platforms बहुत different communicate कर रहे होते हैं. one such innovative idea is also around, influencer marketing, which recently emerged, and it has become like really popular. Even if we talk about some studies, to make stat per rहा था कल, तो उसके around like 89% of marketers have reported that return on investment from influencer marketing is comparable or even better than other marketing channels, and it's like a huge number. Like 89% is a huge number. So do you guys think that influencer marketing has actually changed the game and the future is bright? Because a lot of people are saying it's going down the hill or नहीं survive कर पाएगा, even if we talk about आजकल की pandemic की situation. So what do you guys have to say about that? Anam, you can start.
You want to go? Okay. All right. So I think influencer marketing कहीं भी नहीं जा रहा है, regardless of what anybody is saying or predicting, कहीं भी नहीं जाएगा, because अगर आप इसके पीछे बहुत बेसिक सी behavior को understand करें, influencer marketing क्यों popular हुआ है, ये क्यों इतना बड़ा giant बन गया है, this segment of marketing, is because see, people over the years with mobile phones in our hand and our eyes and our attention glued to our mobile phones, हमें सिर्फ सेलिब्रिटीज से एंडोर्समेंट सुनना या सिर्फ सेलिब्रिटीज के बारे में सुनना जिनका हमें पता है कि जो वो आके अगर एक टीवी में कुछ चीज एंडोर्स करते हैं, they may or may not be using that product, हमें पता है, but these people who you call influencers, these are regular everyday people who show up on your mobile, on your feed, and they are really really relatable. मतलब ये वो लोग होते हैं जो जिनकी प्रॉब्लम से आप रिलेट कर सकते हैं और जिनको आप रीच आउट कर सकते हो, वो आपको जवाब देते हैं. सेलिब्रिटी नहीं जवाब देता आपको, आपकी प्रॉब्लम नहीं सॉल्व करता. सो दिस इज व्हाई दिस हैज बिकम लाइक लिटरली ये इस जनरेशन का और फ्यूचर जनरेशन का ये टीवी है. Like all of these thousands and millions of influencers, they literally each one of them are TV channels on their own. और ये फ्यूचर की जनरेशन का टीवी है और ये कहीं नहीं जा रहा. मतलब आप अगर आप एक इन्फ्लुएंसर को नहीं देखेंगे, आप दूसरे को देखे होंगे. You'll switch the channel if you're not liking one. You'll switch to another. If today you are in fashion and tomorrow you are into beauty and person you are into travel or food, you will probably switch channels. मतलब अभी आप अगर पाकिस्तान में रहते हैं, आपको पाकिस्तानी इन्फ्लुएंसर देखना पसंद है, कल को आप कनाडा मूव हो जाएंगे, आप वहाँ के इन्फ्लुएंसर देखेंगे. तो ये जा कहीं नहीं रहा. It's literally become a channel which we love to be constantly tuned into. और ये इतना इजी और लाइट वेट चैनल है कि हम चलते फिरते मोबाइल हमारे हाथ में है एंड वी आर वाचिंग दिस कंटेंट एंड वी आर लविंग इट. सो ये whether it's pandemic and everything or times are uncertain, but it's not gonna go anywhere, because see, even during these unfortunate and difficult times, क्या हुआ कि people started watching this TV more, like this influencers, these content creators, unka content ki viewership, it just racked up, and overall consumption racked up. So ye wahi wali baat hai ki these influencers, these content creators, they provide so much, like ye aapko tips tricks ही नहीं provide करते, ये आपको आपकी लाइफ को कैसे navigate करना है, ये आपको ये सारी चीजें provide करते हैं. People create content to help you calm down. People create content to help you find other businesses. People create content to help you in so many different aspects of your life, not just your, कि खाना कैसे पकाना है, तो travel कैसे करना है, नहीं. They also tell you कि यार अगर आप mentally disturbed हैं, तो how to calm yourself down. So it's just such a part of our lives, of our everyday lives. And also another thing I'll tell you. So अभी जो for example जो majority of digital audience है, या जो digital consumption है, that is up till the age of 34. That's what all your Facebook, Instagram, their analytics tell us. But imagine ये जो अभी from your 10-year-old kid till your 34-year-old individual, ये सारा demographic lot जब ये age होगा, ठीक है ना, when your 34-year-old will become 44-year-old. तो आप सोचें कि आपका व्यूअरशिप का बैंड तो और बढ़ गया, और जो नई आने वाली जनरेशन है वो तो ये देखते हुए ही आएगी शुरू से. सो आई थिंक इसका तो साइज और बड़ा होगा, दूसरे चैनल से बजट इसमें और निकल के आएगा, एंड द इंडस्ट्री विल ग्रो इवन बिगर ग्लोबली. या
Safa, what do you think about that?
Honestly, मेरे लिए influencer को समझना, I think that is a much more important thing, so that you understand the industry. Basically, influencers have been in our lives even before Instagram or Facebook. Influencer is someone who basically you look up to. It is someone who influences your decisions or how you want to live your life or how you want to dress up. It could be your cousin, it could be your sister, it could be your mom, it could be the head girl in your school. This is something I learned from Hamna, by the way, and I think this is a very good analogy. um, and now that you understand कि अच्छा influencers तो इसी तरीके से चलते हुए आ रहे हैं, you understand this is human nature. You always look up to people and you try to make yourself like them. You get inspired. चाहे वो कोई ट्रिलियनर हो या चाहे वो कोई ऐसा इंसान हो जो बहुत मेंटली काम हो या योगी हो. So according to your nature, you find an influencer in your life that you connect to. Now, when Instagram influencers became the rage, it was basically because एक लोगों को एवेन्यू मिल गया था, एक एवेन्यू जिससे वो कमा सकते हैं, जिससे वो लोगों से कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. एंड देयर वाज नो शेम इन एनीवन सेइंग आई फॉलो यू. यू नो, उससे पहले यू वर लाइक अच्छा नहीं यार, यू नो ऊपर चढ़ जाएगी सर पे, ऐसे नहीं बताना वगैरह वगैरह. यू डोंट एवर गो अप टू अ पर्सन एंड गो लाइक आई लुक अप टू यू व्हाटएवर. इट बी बहुत लेस इंस्टेंसेस होते थे. अब यू नो पीपल openly say I love following you. You know the word following because you're following a certain person. So I think इस avenue के आने के बाद a lot of people realize that you got a lot of self-confidence. I think a lot of people thought that they weren't amazing, but as soon as they started creating this Instagram public account and started creating content about their lives, they realized that people actually look up to them and they themselves started falling in love with themselves. ठीक है, इस वजह से and उसके और भी बहुत benefits थे. Brands were working with you, people were sending you free goods and stuff, so you can tell your followers about a certain product और आप उससे पैसे कमा रहे थे. I mean, this is a win-win-win situation for the person who's an influencer. The reason why a lot of people say influencer marketing is going downhill, it's because of the quality of the content. That's pretty much it. Not because this is going to not become an avenue and people are not going to work with influencers. Influencers are going to become a very primary channel for all brands sooner or later. अगर अभी कोई brand नहीं कर रहा तो eventually करेगा. It is the right avenue. Of course हर चीज की एक life होती है, but the quality of the content की वजह से people saying influencer marketing is going downhill because then first you had one influencer and 9 followers. Now you have 9 influencers and 1 follower. So that is why you need to give it time. किसी भी चीज को आप अगर time देंगे, आप देखें एक साल में अगर बहुत सारे influencers आएंगे ना market में, तो eventually next year तक एक lower down version भी आ जाएगा. Because a lot of people don't understand it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of dedication, a strategy behind what you're creating content for and how you're communicating it. And also at the end of the day, it's all onto the audience. You know, there are a lot of people who've fallen into, you know, they've gotten unfollowed because of whatever decisions they take, or they're not influencers anymore. So unka bhi time change hota rehta. In this situation, in this pandemic situation, what we noticed as an, I mean, but that is what I noticed as an agency person, is that while people were not investing on TV, or they were not investing on Ramzan transmissions, or investing in outdoor billboards, everything came to influencers. All of a sudden influencers के पास बहुत सारे पैसे आ गए और उन्होंने बोला आप कंटेंट बनाएं, आप बताएं जी आप इस ब्रांड को रमजान में किस तरह इनकॉर्पोरेट करती हैं. And all of a sudden the brand managers who used to make fun of people who had 10k followers, all of a sudden they realized the power of influencing someone. आप बेसिकली टॉप ऑफ माइंड लेकर आते हैं. आप एड बनाएं, उसमें भी एक्टर ही होता है. आप बिलबोर्ड लगाएं, वो एक स्टिल फोटोग्राफी है. इन्फ्लुएंसर भी एक अपना फॉर्म ऑफ मार्केटिंग है. आपको ये अंडरस्टैंड करने की जरूरत है. देयर इज नो शेम इन इट, देयर इज नथिंग बैड इन इट, एंड दैट पर्सन इज एक्चुअली अपने असल अल्फाजों में बता रही है कि दिस इज हाउ आई यूज द प्रोडक्ट. उसकी वजह से वो प्रोडक्ट टॉप ऑफ माइंड आ गया, आपकी मार्केटिंग हो गई. इवेंचुअली दैट इंप्रूव्स योर BLS, द ब्रांड लव स्कोर. That is what the marketing is all about.
Great. That was really good. So आप दोनों obviously बहुत मुख्तलिफ चीज़ें कर रही हैं. So मैं इस सेशन में I'll try to cover, you know, हर चीज़ का थोड़ी सी हर चीज़ के around discussion हो जाए. So let's talk about traveling as a genre, since Anam has a travel blog and, you know, Safa, you plan influencer retreats where Utopia retreats. So Anam, I was reading your interview with Dawn where you kind of said that your perspective about traveling has changed over time, and now आप focus करती हो on budget traveling. You know, so what would be your advice to youngsters who want to, you know, travel on budget like you?
So, so I'll just correct that a little bit. When I say my perspective on traveling has changed, that means that initially when I started off, I used to look at countries individually. कि मुझे इस country जाना है, इस country जाना है, इस country जाना है, और मुझे इतनी सारी countries जाना है. You know, that's how I think probably that's how everybody starts. It's you know, that's how you start dreaming or putting an ambition on your travel goals. कि मैंने इतनी जगहों पे जाना है और मुझे यहाँ 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 जाना है. So when I say my perspective on travel change, I meant that, you know, now I understand the world or look at the world as regions or cultures. So now I say कि मुझे Scandinavia जाना है because मैंने वो culture नहीं explore किया. You know, I want to go to the Patagonia region because मुझे वो culture explore करना है, वो geography explore करनी है. So that is what. And then with regards to traveling on budget or traveling on luxury, I feel what my perspective is right now. Initially, obviously, शुरू जब मैंने किया था, so the trips used to be more budget, but obviously as you grow in your life, in your career and everything, your travel style also evolves. So at the moment, you know, sometimes I still do travel on a budget, and then sometimes I love to splurge. So I think dono cheezein, I mean, if you can travel on a luxury, if you can splurge a little bit every now and then, there's no harm in it. You can always mix and match both the styles. So, you know, if it's your 10-day trip, you can maybe treat yourself to a really nice, expensive hotel and some really, like, you know, luxury experiences for 2 of the days, 2 of the nights. And the rest of it, you can do it on a shoestring. So you can really mix and match. It also, by the way, depends कौन से country जा रहे हैं. So some cities or some countries are naturally very expensive, especially given the fact कि हम लोग पाकिस्तानी डॉलर में, I mean, if somebody is earning in Pakistani rupees, तो वो conversion करके हमारे लिए expensive हो जाता है. You know, all the top cities of the world like London, Paris, New York, Amsterdam, ये सारे expensive cities होते हैं. So जब आप इनमें जाते हैं specifically, so obviously you naturally tend to take care of your budget and you look for something that's affordable because you know, that's how you have to do. So regarding the tips, I mean, I would say that सबसे पहले तो आप ना goal और budget determine कर लें कि भाई मेरे पास कितने पैसे हैं इस trip के लिए और मैंने कहाँ जाना है. And then the first thing you need to do is research that country or research that city. There is tons and tons of resources available online जो आपको बताती हैं कि भाई आपका daily expense कितना होगा जब आप उस city में जाएंगे या उस country में जाएंगे. So you know कि मैंने, and then also a lot of blogs like they teach you how can you cut down on your expense. आपने hostels में रहना है या उस city में आप mid range के hotels afford कर सकते हैं according to your own budget. So you can make those trade-offs. You can look into hostels. And then also if you want to fly cheap, then you need to be a little flexible in the sense that, you know, maybe you don't want to travel in June and July. That's when you know, traveling season is at its peak and everywhere it's expensive. So आप off peak seasons पर travel करें, थोड़ा सा flexible हो. अगर आप थोड़ा सा flexible हो, you would be able to score a better ticket. मतलब आपकी dates अगर fixed हैं तो फिर उस पे आपको जो भी ticket price मिलेगी you'll have to buy it. But if you're flexible, you can pick the cheapest dates to fly on. So these are a couple of things, and then also you can, for domestic traveling, मतलब एक शहर से दूसरे शहर, you can look into buses or trains rather than flights. That's how you can, and then also another way, if you're traveling really slowly, like if you have 15-20 days in a city, you can also buy food from grocery stores and you can cook your own food.
So मेरा next question भी, you know, yeah, मेरा next question भी इसके around था कि even you and Safa both would like to, like, you know, share top. आपने जैसे बात की, obviously it depends on, you know, the destination you want to country you want to visit because budget traveling की. So what do you think कि आप Safa से start कर लेंगे कि top 3 budget traveling destinations आप लोगों की क्या होंगी, और you know what top 3 travel tips when it comes to budget traveling क्या suggest करेंगे आप audience से?
I am probably the last person you want to ask this question to. I do not talk about budget traveling at all. So when I started doing travel blogging myself, That's how Safa and Transit sort of came into being. Initially was just a travel, based Instagram account, but that turned into a lifestyle, and I started talking about my work, my life in general. And so I just like to share how I wanted to travel to those places. So I would not call myself a travel blogger anymore. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yes,
You
we
were
can. Yeah, we
breaking
can.
up for a bit.
So yeah, so I don't call myself a travel blogger anymore. I just call myself, Instagrammer, let's just say. But one thing I've never been able to do is budget traveling. I don't know why. I think I'm a spoiled brat. Call it that. A lot of people keep telling me, "Hey, we want to go backpacking. This is for a brand. This is for this and that." And I'm like, if there's no proper bathroom with tiles in it, I will not be able to do it. If there's no there's a certain element that I'm always looking for. It always makes me cringe, so I've never been able to budget travel. It depends on what people think of it as a budget. I'm a person who probably does partnerships with Emirates on business class and tell people it's okay to spend 300,000 rupees on an air ticket.
Anam, if you would quickly to share, top 3 budget traveling destinations you have in your mind,
अगर
would
आप
be a
पाकिस्तान से या श्योर अगर आप पाकिस्तान से ट्रैवलिंग कर रहे हैं सो budget would be Sri Lanka, budget would be Thailand, budget would be and now Azerbaijan because the visa is easy and a lot of people are going and all. Budget would be Turkey. Yeah, I think those would be some places that you can really visit on a budget. I
Yeah.
think Indonesia, Bali भी आप budget पे जा सकते हैं अगर आपको flight अच्छी मिल जाए तो.
I hope everyone's kind of writing down all these tips and budget destination के बारे में because मैं तो साथ साथ लिख रहा हूँ. So obviously we talked about budget traveling और फिर जैसे सफा ने कहा in terms of traveling in business and kind of showing that lifestyle on social media. So a lot of people think that influencers like to promote this and kind of say that traveling is really important. Obviously it helps in personal growth and everything, but people believe that it's kind of setting very unrealistic expectations when it comes to traveling, and a lot of people cannot afford this. So इसी वजह से it's getting even harder for general masses to connect and relate with the influencers जो आजकल हैं. So how do you guys want to respond to this, and do you think कि ये चीज आपको एक negative line पे put कर रही है because you're promoting such kind of things? Safa, you can, if you want to start.
I think that question is only relevant to me.
No, even I have some.
No, because Anam
You know,
makes it so easy for she breaks it down for people and she says, you know what, I'm doing it and this is how I'm doing it and you should do it too. And I feel like
even इस पे भी लोग कह रहे होते हैं कि you're still, because obviously कुछ लोग तो visa fee भी travel afford नहीं कर सकते हैं. So for them it's like it's very unrealistic expectation that you're trying to say.
Because Anam, you want to go?
No, Safa, go ahead.
So basically, when you look at public, there are all kinds of people. Okay? And again, when you become an influencer, the biggest question for you is to connect with people who connect with you, right? Initially, when you're growing, you start, a lot of guys start following you. They don't understand the way you're talking or anything. They're just likes and there's no engagement on your posts. But eventually, you start to find your own community. That's what followers are all about. They're your community who understand your life choices. They know you, they know your life, they know what you do. So when I initially when I started talking about luxury traveling, it was a very unapologetic, hey listen, I like traveling this way because this is something that I've always looked up to. And I took the feedback from people when every time they said, you know what, probably you're getting free tickets all the time and you're setting such a unrealistic standard. And I said, you know what, the reason why I got into luxury travel content creation or blogging is because it was one of my own goals. And even if I've collaborated with brands and hotels 3 or 4 times in pretty much my entire Instagram career only, I've been able to buy those tickets 10 times as well. So then I spun around my basically content and captions, and I started telling people, hey, listen, this is always my goal, and how I got to the goal, I worked hard. And then I started talking about being an entrepreneur and being your own boss and working hard and working smart so that you can earn the money that you want rather than saying यार मुझे उसकी जिंदगी बहुत अच्छी लगती है but घर पे बैठ के कुछ करना नहीं है. You get out there. If you want something, you go and get it. You work on your dreams, and if you want to go business class, first class, or a private jet, all you have to do is work hard for it. You can't just sit and bicker about someone's life and be like, oh, ये तो बहुत ही unrealistic है. भाई, unrealistic कैसे है? Because I've been able to make it into my reality. Maybe it does not connect with you because you're not at that stage where I am in my life. I have worked 7 years. I've had my company for almost 3 years. I've have another travel retreat businesses. I've been able to make contacts. And you, on the other hand, if you want that lifestyle, I'm here to help you. What do you want to do? Do you want to start your own business? Do you have a great business idea that you want investors in? Do you want financial help, or do you want something or the other? You work hard and you buy the things you like. Even if you want to have a minimalistic thing, you can get yourself the success, the name that you want for yourself by just working hard. So that's how my blog sort of transformed and became a more realistic sort of hashtag goals, because then people understood कि यार अगर ये कर सकती है and she's just 28 and she has 2 companies and she's been able to afford all of this, then I can do it too. So I try to make it more realistic to the people who look at me, and so that they can dream and they can work hard.
Anam, if you want to add to this.
I think it's very, very nicely put by Safa. And see, that is the thing. Internet पे क्या होता है कि लोग content देखते हैं. Now there are thousands of content creators. हर एक का life different है, and 100% agreement with the fact कि a lot of people are privileged. और कुछ लोग ज़्यादा privileged हैं, कुछ लोग कम हैं. And हर किसी के लिए traveling shift करना उतने आसानी से possible भी नहीं है. You know, जो लोग criticism करते हैं वो भी अपने पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू पर ठीक है कि यार हम तो ट्रैवल नहीं कर सकते, दैट इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल. अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल कांट इवन डू बजट ट्रैवल, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन कि एक बंदा अगर उसने मेहनत करके या लेट्स से प्रिविलेज से किसी भी तरीके से अगर उसका एक लाइफस्टाइल है तो वो अपने उस लाइफस्टाइल को डॉक्यूमेंट कर रहा है. आई डोंट थिंक सो एनीवेयर an influencer who talks about who's let's say a luxury influencer, वो कहीं पे भी ये नहीं कहता कि guys luxury मतलब luxury lifestyle is the only way to live your life, और आप लोग प्लीज कल से जाके प्राडा का बैग खरीदें और बिजनेस क्लास का फ्लाइट खरीदें वरना you guys are cancelled. Nobody says that. I mean, anybody who's doing luxury anything, fashion, travel, they have either earned that lifestyle for themselves and they are merely documenting it. ठीक है? और if I can't travel luxury or wear luxury fashion, तो मैं तो उसको like ऐसे देखती हूँ कि यार ये बंदा मेरे लिए गोल सेट कर रहा है या एस्पिरेशन सेट कर रहा है. So I always look at it in a manner कि you know how can I be there one day, you know, if I'm not there. So I think there is enough negativity in the world. हमें I think अपना थोड़ा सा outlook as consumers of content, हमें थोड़ा सा अपना outlook positive करना चाहिए. If somebody is talking about something that you don't have in your reach at the moment, how can you get there? How can you plan your steps A B C D towards reaching that goal? और ये तो एक चीज है. दूसरा लोग people are just not you know considerate. लोग नहीं देखते बाल दफा कि कोई बंदा self made है या privileged भी या actually privileged है. People just straight up, if you wear nice clothes, you put up a nice picture of yourself traveling anywhere, people straight up say that you know this was a silver spoon, you were born with a silver spoon, and you know you did not have to do anything to earn it. It's not true. I think people need to develop a good way and a nice positive lens to look at this thing. दुनिया में there are millions of people and there are thousands of content creators. हर एक का different lifestyle है for different reasons. I mean, you can't just be like, you know, अगर आप अपना lifestyle हमें दिखा रही हैं तो आपको हमारे ऊपर ये enforce करनी है. No, you can maybe tune out that influencer if you're not liking their content. You know, you will find somebody else who's more relatable to you. So yeah.
Okay, I think let's take a few questions from audience. क्योंकि हमारे पास कुछ questions, if you see Q&A section Zoom पे उसमें कुछ questions हैं और Facebook पे भी होंगे. तो एक question है हमारे पास, like how do you integrate product promotion with influencers? Because also with influencers, there are time it looks blatant promotion on the face. So who wants to So do you want to respond to this?
Can you repeat the question again, Shrikant?
Yes. How do you integrate product promotion with influencers? Because also with influencers, there are time it looks blatant promotion on the face.
I think, to be honest, the person who asked this, yeah. So technically देखा जाए तो टीवी पे ad भी एक blatant promotion ही है. That is, Amira Khan is not washing her clothes with hand, right? It is blatant. It is a scenario. So I think when you start looking at real people and you go like, यार ये acting कर रही है, you know, आपकी एक थोड़ी सी क्रिंज आ जाता है आपके अंदर और आप कहते हैं यार ये तो बड़ा अजीब लग रहा है, ये तो सिर्फ झूठ ही बोल रही होगी, ये तो प्रोडक्ट्स इस्तेमाल भी नहीं किया. सो आप एकदम से थोड़े ट्यून ऑफ हो जाते हैं. इसको आई थिंक इन्फ्लुएंसर्स और ब्रांड्स दोनों सही तरीके से मैनेज कर सकते हैं. ब्रांड्स को स्पेसिफिक होना होगा, प्रोडक्ट जिनका है उनको स्पेसिफिक होना होगा, उनको किस तरह की चीज़ चाहिए जो कि बहुत ज़्यादा नेचुरल भी लगे, इट कम्स फ्रॉम द हार्ट और लोगों से कनेक्ट करें. ठीक है. And influencers on the other hand should not sit on a bench next to the product and take a picture and say wearing this because of this detergent, you know. So I think influencers and brands both need to be very smart about this, strategic about this, and work together to make a great ad. कभी हम बुरा ad भी देखते हैं जिसमें लिखा होता है 5 रुपए कम, that's it. It's functional, you know. There's some ads which speak to your heart and all of a sudden आपको brand बहुत अच्छा लगने शुरू हो जाता है. So it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's true. Brands, influencers, and also agencies, तीनों parties की responsibility होती है towards ensuring that the product or the brand message is well integrated or well blended into the content story of the influencer. So influencer को भी ख्याल रखना चाहिए कि मैं कैसे इसको natural बनाऊं. If I actually use this product or I have been using this product, मैं वो story बताऊं अपनी कि मैं कब से इसको use करता आया हूं and it's actually helped me do this and this and that. And yeah, like not do a straight up TV style photo or a TV style video, okay, जिसमें आप पति advertisement की language में, the language of advertisement and the language on your social platform is very different. And then also एजेंसी को भी मेक श्योर करना होता है कि वो अगर क्लाइंट से उनको ऐसा ब्रीफ मिल रहा है जिसमें बहुत ही स्ट्रिक्ट गाइडलाइंस हैं कि इन्फ्लुएंसर ने ये बात ऐसे करके कहनी है, तो एजेंसी को चाहिए कि वो थोड़ा सा अपने क्लाइंट को समझाए, वो थोड़ा सा गाइड करे कि भाई ऐसे तो ये आप एड की तरह साउंड करने लगेंगे. एंड देन ऑल्सो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स को गाइड करे कि आपने कैसे कंटेंट क्रिएट करना है. And then obviously the onus is also on the brand managers, that they should also be writing such briefs जिसमें influencer की अपनी creativity और agency की guidance का margin हो. A lot of the times briefs are so strict where they've just dictated everything कि video में influencer ऐसे बात करेगा, ये बोलेगा, end ऐसे होगा, शुरू ऐसे होगा, दूसरी बात ही होगी. So उसमें तो फिर ना agency कोई अपनी creativity डाल सकती है, ना influencer. It just becomes a transaction and a deliverable that has to be done. So the onus kind of lies on all three parties.
I think हम एक और question लेते हैं, फिर हम discussion के वापस ले जाएंगे. कि Ramesh का question है, what is considered posting too much content and what is considered posting too little content? What quickly sir, अगर आप बस के around को.
Yeah. Posting too much is whatever your audience will not be able to digest or whatever you will not be able to keep a consistent schedule with. In the world of social media, whatever frequency you can consistently deliver on should be your. कुछ लोग हैं जो 10 posts भी लगाते हैं in magazines and all. Their audience expects that kind of content and they're okay. कुछ लोग हैं जो हफ्ते में 2 दफा लगाते हैं, that also works. So whatever you can stick to, आपकी audience को उसकी आदत हो जाती है and they expect that, and that should be your frequency.
इसमें मैं ऐड करूँगी, अगर आप ब्रांड के पर्सपेक्टिव से ये पूछ रहे हैं, सो ब्रांड का इट डज नॉट मैटर कि आप कब क्या पोस्ट करें, बिकॉज आपकी ऑर्गेनिक रीच कुछ है नहीं, आपको वैसे ही बूस्ट करना पड़ेगा. सो यू कैन पोस्ट लाइक 2 things in a month and boost it for the entire month. The second thing, if you are an influencer or if you are a content creator, then you again need to have consistency. If for example you cannot post hafte mein ek video, then do not do it like 4 weeks and then take a break of 4 weeks. Do something which is consistent because that will help you grow. And also whatever platform you're talking about, either it's Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, you need to understand the algorithm. You need to understand how they push content to people's newsfeed, right? So if you're, in order to grow, then you have to take a certain strategy कि मैंने इस टाइम पे पोस्ट करना है, मैंने इन इन लोगों की बात करनी है, मैंने हैशटैग्स के साथ पोस्ट करना है, then only you will be able to grow.
Okay. So now I'd like to, talk about your journey as entrepreneurs. So Anam and Safa, you both run digital marketing agencies, and I've also worked with digital marketing agencies, so I kind of know how hard it is to, meet client expectations. लेकिन लोगों को फिर भी लग रहा होता है यार ये एजेंसी चलाना बहुत आसान है, आपको सिर्फ जो है कंटेंट निकालना है, सोशल मीडिया पे कंटेंट कैलेंडर पे पोस्ट करना है, पोस्ट लगानी है, कैप्शन लगना है और हो गया काम. So why don't you guys share your, how did you guys came up with the idea of starting your own digital marketing agencies, और क्या struggle है इसको manage करने की?
Every time, by the way, somebody tells me, करना है क्या है, पोस्ट ही लगाना है guys, अगर लगाना है तो आप खुद लगा लें, कोई मसला ही नहीं है. So I think it's actually something so it's funny because there's so much mind that goes behind creating a campaign, a digital campaign, and not anybody who's handling a social media for a smaller brand can understand that. It comes from years of experience. I mean, I've actually worked with Anam. Anam used to be the strategist, and I used to be her client. So we have actually been able to work together, and I think I can say it for the both of us. It is not easy at all. It is 3 months of preparation, then 1 month of just content creation, and then you start putting it, and then you have to monitor and analyze. So there's a certain science behind it. The reason why I started my digital marketing agency was because that was one thing I was very passionate about. The second thing was that was one thing I wanted to do, और वो मुझे आती थी करना. So I was not like, oh, I'm just going to be like a freelancer, I'm going to write content or create content. I said, I'm going to start my company, and I'm going to hire people, I'm going to get brands on board, and I'm going to do this. पहले भी मैं किसी ब्रांड के लिए उनके ऑफिस में बैठ के गई थी, अब मैं अपने ऑफिस में बैठ के 6 ब्रांड्स के लिए करती हूँ, right? So I think digital marketing agencies, generally agencies get a bad rep, by the way. They think agencies वाले कुछ करते नहीं हैं, and pretty much the brand does everything. But anybody who has worked in an agency can totally vouch for the fact that agencies work so much. Secondly, digital marketing इतनी normalize हो गई है, अब हर किसी को करनी आती है जी. फेसबुक पे पेज मैनेज करना, अगेन millions of courses online, they understand it. But इसी तरीके से you need to understand, you become an expert. You can't just be like, हाँ हमें आता है पेज पे पब्लिश कैसे करना है, फेसबुक तो खुद ही सब कुछ बताता है. But then उसमें भी अपनी एक साइंस होती है कि what kind of content will it resonate with. There's a marketing, there's a psychology behind it, there's a science behind it. So yeah, I'm actually very proud that I have a digital marketing agency, and every time you pick up a rock, you find another digital marketing agency. But again, it's the same as influencers. It will not, there will be businesses that will not sustain because they've not had the right intention to start. They've started with the intention कि पैसा बहुत है भाई इस industry में. I know people who are engineers who have no idea about digital marketing, and they're CEOs of digital marketing agencies, and they've actually been outsourcing all their work because उनको सिर्फ अपना नाम चाहिए था, पैसा बनाना and everything. And these kind of businesses don't sustain, especially I think if you look at it in this situation, in this pandemic, there are lots of people who had to lay off all these people because it just didn't make sense and they had to shut down. So you need to just be good with your art. It's a form of art, and pursue it. And I believe in, growing not exponentially, but growing aista aista. It's okay. Like I can handle 5 clients right now, then 6 clients later, and isi tarike se. So don't be like, oh, paisa, paisa, paisa chahiye. Just do it for the passion of it. Do it for the drive it you have for it.
Yeah, I think agency business generally, whether it's digital or non-digital, I think सबसे मुश्किल kind of business है in Pakistani scenario to run it. Safa talked about the actual work side of it, posts लगाना and all उसके पीछे क्या सब कुछ चीजें होती हैं, but वो सब एक तरफ है. Being an agency owner, the operational side of it, the HR management side of it, लोगों को hire करना, retain करना उनको, वो एक पूरा, it's a work. it's, you need strategy for it. And then, maintaining your clients, keeping your clients happy and satisfied. Then also a lot of finances, or ask any agency owner, the kind of cash flow situations we have in our market, the kind of payment schedules we have in our market. So running agency business, not just सिर्फ front end नहीं कि brand की campaign कौन सी launch हो रही है उसके पीछे how are you financing, how are you putting that capital, और वो कहाँ से आ रहा है, vendor को payment करनी है, client से payment आई नहीं है, how do you manage that? So it is, I think agency business in Pakistani scenario is really tough job. It is not easy at all. बेशक आपको कितनी भी digital marketing आती हो, you also need to be a very good business person, and a very cutthroat business person, I should say, to build, run, sustain. इसीलिए बहुत सारी एजेंसीज खुलती हैं because entry barrier बहुत कम है. ठीक है ना, Facebook, Instagram इतना easy to operate है कि pretty much anybody thinks कि वो कर सकते हैं. बहुत सारे लोग करते भी हैं, but आपको सिर्फ वो चीजें टेक्निकल्स आना, उसके बाद you also need to be able to bring business. वरना वही वाली बात है कि फिर इन डिफिकल्ट टाइम्स जब रिसेशन आता है और मार्केटिंग बजट श्रिंक होते हैं, लॉट ऑफ एड एजेंसीज गो आउट ऑफ बिजनेस, दे हैव टू ले ऑफ. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी कंपेटिटिव मार्केट एंड अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट वन. या सो जो भी कोई इस वक्त सोच रहा है कि बहुत आसान है, नहीं प्लीज.
इसका एक ये भी मुझे लगता है जो एक और स्ट्रगल आपको हो सकती है, इट्स ऑब्वियसली अराउंड कितना कंपटीशन है इस फील्ड में, लाइक इट्स इज एजेंसी इन एवरी ब्लॉक यू सी, और तो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन भी इससे somehow linked होगा कि how do you like to keep up with the competition? ये कुछ innovation in terms of your business plan या अपनी services को आप लोगों ने over the time tailor किया है थोड़ा, obviously इतना cutthroat competition है उससे meet करने के लिए, आपकी client expectations meet करने के लिए आपके पास clients आते रहे हैं, obviously competition बढ़ रहा है तो कोई अपनी cost कम कर देता है, कोई अपनी cost ज़्यादा कर देता है, और फिर उस तरह से भी चीज़ें manage करें. तो how do you like to innovate in terms of your business plan and tailor your services?
I think innovation एक हद तक होती है. I think when you are an agency, you have to, there are some things that are basic hygiene, वो आपको at all times, और वो hygiene का level change होता रहता है. So for example, अब अगर TikTok आ गया, brands are demanding TikTok, as an agency you should be able to have or develop muscle and strength to do TikTok campaigns. So ये सारी चीजें basic hygiene है जो अब TikTok basic hygiene हो गया है, if you're a digital agency. तो कुछ चीजें ऐसी होती हैं that in order to survive in the market, you have to update yourself and you have to develop that expertise and skill to offer to your clients. बाकी कुछ चीजें होती हैं जैसे for example there are that you can't really innovate on, but you need to have on an ongoing basis. For example, you need to have, being an agency owner in Pakistan, you need to have like a good network base. You need to know people also. That's a very understandable and acceptable reality that in order to get business, you first need to also have a very good network, because otherwise you won't get invited to pitches, right? Or you don't get invited to submit proposals. So wo bhi ek cheez hai. So those are also some criteria. And then on innovation, yes, every now and then, jo bhi, especially on digital, whatever is new that's coming up, you have to update yourself, and वो फिर innovation रहती भी नहीं है, वो basic बन जाता है, like TikTok, it's literally hygiene now. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like to take one more question यहाँ पे. I think Mohammed Azib का question in Q&A part में. So his question is, in terms of engagement on social media, what are some strategies you guys personally have utilized that work to drive engagement in form of likes, comments, etc.?
Is that a question from a brand or?
So he runs a startup called Mad Angle. Yeah. So basically he wants to know कि in terms of engagement आप लोग क्या personally आप लोगों ने क्या strategy use की है?
I think if you're a brand, you need to understand that Facebook and Instagram give you no organic reach. But still there's hope for Instagram. You can still grow on Instagram. And at the same time on Facebook, what you can do is, it depends on the kind of content you create. Is it a content that looks like an ad, or is it a content that looks like a film? And that's why people are coming for the content consumption. And that's why you can get people to come to your page organically, like your content, comment and engage. जिस तरह हम memes के साथ engage करते हैं, I think memes are a great marketing tool, because उसमें वो ad भी नहीं लग रहा होता, वो एक मजाक होता है, and all of a sudden it sparks up a conversation. On the other hand, on Instagram, there are lots of techniques on increasing your reach, increasing your engagement. Even if you're a brand, you have to use the right hashtags in the first comment. You have to tag the right people. You have to post at the right time. You have to have some sort of an engaging question in the caption. You have to repost it on places, maybe do some giveaways on your page now and then, so that, and keep creating more and giving your followers more content to consume, so that it stays relevant to them. A lot of people, they don't post, एक दो post लगा दिया और कह रहे हैं हमारा business चल रहा है, तो फिर क्यों लगाया है आपने अपना page ना, फिर page बंद कर दें, क्योंकि why would people follow you? Because if you're not giving anything, it's they can find your number on Google even. So it is best to just Instagram को आप एक as a person approach करें, or on a Facebook you need to have a strategy for the kind of content you will create. For example, I think web series for a lot of brands is a great idea, right? So if you're a startup, for example, maybe you can talk about success stories about people who work in the startup, or you can talk about the product or the service that you're providing, and you can do it in a very natural sort of a way. People testimonials are सकते हैं, people can sit in front of a screen and talk to people. Maybe you can have some live sessions with your customers. There are lots of different ways of increasing reach and engagement and awareness. And at the end of the day, there's a reason why Facebook is a monetized sort of platform, is because they want you to pay and get the people to come and look at you.
Great. Anam, do you want to add to this? या फिर हम लोग next question पे जा सकते हैं?
No, sure, please go ahead. I think I'm more questions later.
Sure. So Ramesh ka ek aur question. Education is already a relatively dry, less appealing theme compared to traveling, food, or fashion. So how can we make medical and science education, which is even a more niche market, something more appealing and attractive to the public, when we talk about promotions on digital marketing platforms?
I think if you are an education-related brand, then definitely thoda sa wo, you won't be talking about humor, and it's not obviously travel and fashion. So aapka content ki nature thoda si different hogi, and it will be a challenge. But creativity, there's no limit to creativity. Even being an education-related brand, the way you put out your content, whether that's science-related or math-related or physics-related, the way you put your content. The way its aesthetics are, the way it's relatable and in a layman form. Like, for example, if I'm assuming that your audience is, it's not a technical audience, so आप उनको बहुत layman form में, relatable form में ABC करके आप उनको वो content feed करें, उनको वो content दें consume करने के लिए, and then make it so visually aesthetically pleasing. मतलब आप अगर humor नहीं कर सकते ना, humor से अगर आप लोग नहीं ला सकते, तो अपना aesthetic level dial up कर लें. You tune up that, you tune up your aesthetic, and then you tune up the kind of content that you're providing. It should be very rich and meaty. It shouldn't be fluff. आप अपनी audience से interact करें और उनको समझें कि वो जो चीज़ आप दे रहे हैं वो उनके लिए basic तो नहीं हो रही या बहुत मुश्किल तो नहीं हो रही, and you fine tune your content according to that. Plus, you don't just have to put out like text-based theoretical stuff all the time. You can also, no matter who you are, if you're a business or an educational institution, you can always bring in more experts. You can bring in human faces that can talk about whatever it is, like, science or math or whatever it is that you are doing. So obviously human faces naturally generate more engagement and more relatability. So aapka content, your content bucket or your mix of content could be, very like text-based stuff where you are just imparting some knowledge or education, and it could be, human-based where you are bringing in people and delivering your point across via them, and just make it like really beautiful to look at as well.
Safa, do you want to add to this? Yeah, next question.
I think the only thing I'll say to that is, because you're from an education or a science sort of a background, the best thing for you to do is bring value to your people. That's about it. And I think that's what Anam is trying to say as well, कि आप लोगों को educate कर सकते हैं. Like, there's so many, if for example you're a school or you're maybe a book or like something like that, then you bring people and you just have to get value. If it's a children's book, then maybe you need to have a children's teacher who can come and talk about the activities you can do at home in this pandemic situation. it's relevant, right? So you have to do relevant things and you have to bring value to the people who are following you, and they'll come to you for the valuable content.
Great. Okay, so my next question is to Safa. Safa, so obviously you did some recently did some content. Obviously, you do some content around entrepreneurship and talk about running businesses and stuff. And you also share in your stories कि how people don't kind of engage on content related to these topics. थोड़े इस तरह के topics के around इतनी engagement में आती है. But if you talk about makeup, beauty, इस तरह पे उस तरह engagement आएगी. So how often do you kind of struggle with getting good responses on meaningful content like this? Obviously, beauty and makeup is also important, but is तरह content around running businesses, entrepreneurship, उसकी क्या struggle होती है?
So basically, I make sure I don't talk about beauty or makeup or hair or fashion, because simply it's not, I feel like it's not the kind of a person I am. And again, my digital persona is an outlook of what kind of a personality I'm in. People ask me, what are you wearing? I'll probably tell someone, hey, please can you check my tag? I have no idea what I'm wearing and what lipstick I'm wearing. So that's why I don't talk about it. But I do realize that my Instagram community still has sort of people who probably prefer talking about these, let's say, surface topics, right? Okay, for example, if I post a picture with my husband, they'll be like, all, oh my God, let's talk about couples, let's talk about love, let's talk about, बहुत सारे likes और बहुत सारे comments आ जाते हैं. If I talk about something very random as well, where do I want to go? Where do you want to travel to? What is your favorite memory and all that stuff? This is something that people connect to. But then when you talk about starting a business, then there's a very small community that will engage with it because it's not relevant. You understand? हर कोई entrepreneur नहीं बनता. There are probably 9 people who do a 9 to 5 job and 1 person who wants to start a business. So if I have 40,000 followers, out of which 4,000 will come up to that post and be like, this is relevant to me, right? I want to look at it. So I think it's all based on people's interests. I did a whole 4-part series on how to start your own business because it is a question that I keep getting onto the comment section. But honestly, I didn't think too much about कि अच्छा आप engage करें नहीं करें, because I know जब आप एक ग्रुप में बैठे हुए होते हैं और अगर आप एक बात कर रहे होते हैं तो वो शायद बात 3 लोगों को इंटरेस्टिंग लगे, सबको इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लग सकती. But I'm willing to talk to those 3 people also on my platform rather than saying नहीं मैंने वही content लगाना है जो चलेगा. I'm not in the business of doing that. I'm not monetizing my content. I'm not trying to do something which is liked by everyone. I'm not trying to make everyone happy. And I think as an Instagrammer or a content creator, you also need to understand you need to keep yourself happy. You need to talk about things which interest you. And you need to see a subset sort of your community. कि कुछ लोगों को बिजनेस के बारे में बात करना पसंद है, आप उनसे बात करें, वो वैल्यू दें. कुछ लोगों को मेकअप के बारे में बात करना पसंद है, आप उनके साथ वो बात करें, लेकिन आप दोनों को एक तरह से बैलेंस रखें.
Okay. So I have a इसी से कुछ related question with Anam as well. So Anam, if we talk about traveling, or people obviously love seeing travel photos with perfect backgrounds, perfect camera angles, lighting अच्छी हो, ये सब कुछ. लेकिन अगर हम बात करें reading blog pieces, so do you get the kind of interaction and people interact with you the way you expect them to interact with your written pieces, या फिर वो over the time कम हो रहा है, लोग सिर्फ short videos पे engage कर रहे हैं या फिर सिर्फ pictures पे comment आ जाते हैं लेकिन blog pieces नहीं पढ़े जा रहे हैं? What do you have to say on this?
So this is a very interesting question and something that I've been really like, I really analyze a lot about this thing कि ये है क्या scene कि blog, I mean क्या लोग नहीं पढ़ते हैं. I mean, every time you hear an Instagram expert and they will tell you out of research that long captions will help you engage, will help you connect. Long captions has in past and they still do help you connect with your audience. So the thing is that लोग पढ़ते हैं, पढ़ने वाले लोग हैं जो पढ़ते हैं. Also, it depends what kind of a long blog or a long caption it is. ठीक है ना? अगर आपने कोई usually the kind of things that I've realized that work, not just for me and I think for a lot of people, one is if you write a how-to piece. If फॉर एग्जाम्पल हाउ टू ट्रैवल ऑन अ बजट, अगर मैंने ये लिखा है अपने इंस्टाग्राम कैप्शन में और मैंने 1 2 3 4 5 करके 5 टिप्स दी हैं उसके नीचे, एंड इट्स लाइक अ फुल लॉन्ग लेंथी पोस्ट, लोग उससे काफी वैल्यू लेंगे और लोग उस पर आके इंगेज करेंगे. That is one kind, and the other kind is a story based post. So if you have written a really long post that is a really nicely written, nicely worded, relatable, real story, चाहे वो ट्रैवल रिलेटेड हो या पर्सनल लाइफ से रिलेटेड हो या कोई मिसहैप हुआ हो आपके साथ ट्रैवल करते हुए, तो इस तरह के जब लॉन्ग पीसेस होते हैं तो उन पे लोग काफी रिलेट करते हैं और इंगेज करते हैं. सो long pieces, yes, there are still readers for it, whether you write it on an Instagram platform or whether you're writing on a blog. But the kind of long piece it is, उस पे काफी डिपेंड करता है कि आपको रीडर्स मिलेंगे. अगेन बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो स्टिल देयर इज स्टिल अ डेमोग्राफिक जो सिर्फ आपके पिक्चर स्क्रॉल करके आगे चला जाता है और वो नहीं देखता. देयर आर पीपल हु आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन कंज्यूमिंग ह्यूमर बेस्ड लाइट वेट वीडियोस, इजी गोइंग, बट पढ़ने वाले भी लोग हैं. सो और आपकी ऑडियंस में दोनों तरीके के लोग होते हैं अगेन. सो समटाइम्स एंड यू नॉट, आई मीन इट्स नॉट लाइक you just create long pieces or you just create those lightweight videos. You always keep a mix because दोनों तरीके के लोग होते हैं. And also you as a creator you need some creative liberty. आपको वही वाली बात है जैसा कह रही है कि अपने आप को भी आपने खुश रखना होता है. I mean अगर हम सब जो है ना इस रूल के साथ, I mean if we just start going by the rules, we all will start looking same. हम सारे क्रिएटर्स एक जैसे लगना शुरू हो जाएंगे. सो हमारी अपनी पर्सनैलिटी, हमें क्या पसंद है, that X factor or that charisma is very essential to sprinkle into your content. So yeah, it's like that.
It's a really interesting point जो आपने बात की, authenticity and having your own personality. So obviously when working with brands, अब हमें पता है कि किस तरह का भी ब्रांड्स की बहुत सारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती है कि इस तरह की पोस्ट आई है, they'll give you suggestions on आप इस तरह विजुअल आपका इस तरह लगे, आपने प्रोडक्ट इस तरह प्लेस करना है. तो how do you kind of maintain your authenticity when working with specific brand? Because कुछ brands requirement बहुत ज़्यादा होती है और कुछ obviously they let you experiment with your content. तो वो कितना difficult होता है अपनी authenticity और अपनी उसको maintain करना during that?
To be honest, with some brands it's very difficult because they are just bent on you delivering exactly the way they want. With some brands and some marketers are very understanding and they're very sensible. You need to have that creative liberty to have your personality come out. So as a content creator, it's very important to have your own boundaries, and this is something you learn as you go along in the journey. आपको किस लिमिट तक you are going to be flexible and किस लिमिट तक you're going to allow a client to dictate your content. अगर वो उस लिमिट से बाहर जा रहा है, अगर उस बाउंड्री से बाहर जा रहा है, I mean it is completely upon you to politely decline that project. So it literally is upon you. अगर आपसे ज्यादा आपने जो अपने लिए अपने कंटेंट के लिए जो एक स्ट्रेटजी या बाउंड्री सेट की है, अगर वो उससे बाहर जा रहा है, if it's too restrictive and you feel like ये बिल्कुल advertisement लगने लगेगा, you say no to it. And I mean all good content creators, they do that, they say no to it, and there are also who don't. So दोनों तरीके से लोग होते हैं and it depends person to person.
Safa, you want to add to this?
I think it's very important for Instagrammers to understand their boundaries. If it's something that is not looking natural to you, it's not fitting with your aesthetic, it is not it's going to ruin your feed and everything, don't do it. I mean, unless you really need the money, then that's why there's so many Instagrammers who do it for the money. But then there are Instagrammers who do it for art, who do it for the content creation perspective. I think that both kinds of people, and the brands who are looking at strict guidelines can work with people who are looking for money rather than creating a form of art. And you just have to decline. And as an agency, I think again the responsibility also sort of comes on to us कि अगर हमें brand कहता है कि जी execute ये करा दें, so that is where you give a little bit of pushback to the brand and you give your analysis कि इस तरह की चीज consumers नहीं पसंद करते. तो बेहतर है कि हम इसको थोड़ा चेंज कर देते हैं, थोड़ा उसको lenient रख देते हैं. So as an agency, that's what I do. As a person who people reach out to for example, ये surface cleaner है या ये है आपने करना है, and I don't talk about that, I simply decline. because I know it's not relevant to me.
Okay. कुछ क्वेश्चन अच्छा हमारे पास फेसबुक में that I'd like to add in conversation में. So एक इमरान का क्वेश्चन है, after like lockdown if the client is looking for cost revisions for the same service, so how much percentage do you think influencers, agency or any PR team will be able to reduce? Any of you want to answer to that?
I think that's a very
This is,
you want to go first?
sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I think this is a very it's sort of like a question which is completely up to you, to be honest. If you're an influencer and right now in this pandemic situation आपका एक फीड पोस्ट 10,000 रुपए का जाता है और आप उनके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन और ब्रांड आपको आके कहता है कि जी मेरे पास इतना बजट नहीं है वगैरह. If you really want to work with the brand, then probably you can give a little bit of discount. But if for example it is not meeting your cost, आपका content create करने का या आपका रैकेट वही है, तो आप मना कर दें. Similarly, it goes for agencies and other vendors. Do not sacrifice on the service quality, on the product quality. Work with people if you want to really reduce your costs down so that you get more business. Again, it's a personal choice. A lot of people will end up selling it probably at a higher price or the same price. But if you are looking for a business, maybe it is time for you to cover your costs so that you come to break even, so that don't end up going into a loss. I think that's a simple business strategic decision कि बस लॉस में नहीं जाना, ब्रेक इवन करना है, और अगर ब्रेक इवन के बाद भी अगर थोड़ा बहुत प्रॉफिट बन रहा है तो बनाएं.
So एक और question है, I think उनका नाम mention नहीं है, but so he says that I've got admission in a UK university for masters in digital marketing. So do you think getting a degree in digital marketing is worth it? Can you discuss the importance of having a professional degree in this field? Any of you want to answer this?
I don't have a agency digital marketing degree.
Neither do I.
Yeah, the time that we were going to university, उस time पर digital marketing में तो course भी नहीं पढ़ा कोई. So I don't think that really matters. But I think for the people who are coming into the field, if digital marketing का आपको degree मिल रही है, then maybe you can learn and you can take that degree. But then it's not about the degree at the end of the day. Do you understand? Degree तो बहुत सारे लोगों के पास होती है, लेकिन जो actually people who make a difference are the ones who are actually working. There's so many people who don't have a degree, but वो experience उनका इस तरह का होता है, या फिर उनका दिमाग वो इस तरह से चलाते हैं, और उनकी एक certain किस्म का working style ऐसा होता है that they make a name for themselves. I'm sure any of the big marketers in Pakistan or any of the big big names in anywhere in the world, you don't ask them, hey, what was your degree? I think people obsess over that a little more. You should do a degree,
Yeah.
but it is something which is interesting to you. आपको अच्छा लगे पढ़ते हुए, वो 4 साल आपके अच्छे से गुजरे, उसके बाद आप उस चीज को कंटिन्यू कर सकें. But do not obsess over it. A lot of people ask me this on my Instagram. अच्छा ये सब तो सही है, आपने बड़ा कुछ अचीव किया, बताएं आपने डिग्री कौन सी की थी ताकि मैं भी वो करूं और फिर मेरी जिंदगी भी सेम होगी. नहीं, मैं चाहे जो भी डिग्री कर लेती, जिंदगी मेरी वो होती जो मैं बनाती उसके लिए. So I think it is your effort that counts more. And for anybody who is struggling with understanding what degree they need to take, just follow your passion and do something which you actually like. Don't become an engineer because somebody's telling you to become one. या फिर CA ना करें because पैसे बहुत ज़्यादा हैं और आपको खुद numbers नहीं आते, आपको कुछ समझ ही नहीं आ रही. So do it for the right reasons, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. I think बहुत सारे लोग डिजिटल में इस वक्त हैं जो जिनके पास डिग्री नहीं है. Also, it's kind of a natural progression of an industry that has developed in past 8-10 years. Obviously, जब इंडस्ट्री डेवलप हुई तो उस वक्त यूनिवर्सिटी में डिग्रीज नहीं थी, तो वही लोग जो एडवर्टाइजिंग में थे वो इसमें उनमें से कुछ लोग इसमें आ गए and the industry developed. However, having said that, in the coming times, as this industry becomes bigger, as more spend comes into digital, ज़्यादा digital agencies होंगी, ज़्यादा digital opportunities होंगी. अगर आपके पास है डिजिटल की डिग्री और या अगर आपको बहुत इंटरेस्ट है and you want to study and you are studying, या as of right now you have taken a digital की डिग्री, so don't think कि वो useless है. वो आपको competitive edge दे सकती है, because see the thing is कि अब इंडस्ट्री क्योंकि बड़ी हो रही है ना, तो उसमें बहुत लोग आएंगे तो कंपटीशन भी बढ़ेगा, और जब कंपटीशन बढ़ेगा सो फॉर एन एम्प्लॉयर, अगर आपके पास गूगल का फलाना सर्टिफिकेशन है और फेसबुक की वो वाली सर्टिफिकेशन है, और so these things will definitely add to your portfolio, and these things will make you a competitive person compared to another person who's also interviewing for the same position. Having said that, ये सारी बातें अपनी जगह है, but ये नहीं हो सकता कि हाँ आप किसी का जो लाइफ का पाथ है ना वो कॉपी पेस्ट कर लें कि उसने भी ये किया था तो मैं भी ये कर लूँ, ऐसा नहीं होता है. एंड ऑल्सो कीप इन माइंड के दुनिया में thousands of examples हैं of successful people who are dropouts, जिनके पास तो कोई भी डिग्री नहीं है, and then a lot of people जो जिन्होंने पढ़ा कुछ और उन्होंने करियर कुछ किया, और बहुत सारे वो लोग भी हैं बाय द वे जिन्होंने वो चीज पढ़ी, उसको परसू किया, एंड यू नो उनको कोई मिड लाइफ क्राइसिस हुआ एंड दे कंप्लीटली चेंज द कोर्स ऑफ देयर करियर, और वो कंप्लीटली बाय मिड 30s वो किसी और चीज में चले गए, एंड दे बिकेम रियली बिग बाय द टाइम दे टर्न 40, you know, in that change, in that different career. So लाइफ वर्क्स वेरी डिफरेंटली. हम लोग जब यूनिवर्सिटी में होते हैं ना, हमें कुछ और लग रहा होता है कि ये बहुत ही लिनियर पाथ है, हम ये करेंगे फिर ये करेंगे फिर ये करेंगे और हमारी सक्सेस हो जाएगी. ऐसा होता नहीं है. प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ इज जस्ट रियली हॉट पॉट.
That's true. Yeah. मेरा एक सवाल था आप दोनों से, like both of you have full-time jobs and you're also managing your blogs and Instagram accounts. So are your blogs monetized, या आपकी जो income है from your full-time job, you use that money, you put that money into your blog? So how do you kind of finance that?
Anna.
So so my travel blog still is not my main source of income. Yes, it has started earning me money, but that's not a stable income enough or yet कि जिसके ऊपर जिसको मैं कहूँ कि ये मेरी मेन सोर्स ऑफ इनकम है. Yes, I do one day plan to, or do one day would want traveling to become my main source of income, where I just travel. It's the dream. हर एक का ही होता है कि बस आप ट्रैवल करते रहें और उसी से आपकी मोनेटाइजेशन हो जाए. But obviously it's very competitive, requires consistency, requires hard work and all of that. So me, abhi maybe in my situation, half of my attention goes towards my digital work and half of it goes towards the blog. So मेरे blog time wise भी अभी full time नहीं है, and also earning wise भी अभी full time नहीं है. Yeah.
For me, Instagram pays me nothing. Let's just be very clear. I've never been able to get even one feed post for like money. I've only been able to do feed posts जो paid partnerships होती हैं, जैसे for people जिनका campaign मैं actually खुद देख रही होती हूँ. So I added as an FOC. Travel and hotels and airlines I've been able to do it on a barter system. But I haven't been able to earn from Instagram, nor do I plan to earn from it. And that's why I wanted my company to be sort of the source of income for me, because that is basically what I do. Instagram is something that is out of just, something just, it's basically connecting with people. So for me, it's not a platform to get money from. My business is where is the source of income for me.
Great. So we have a few other questions in Q&A section or chat पे भी. तो अगर obviously we only have like 10 minutes left, तो अगर if you guys can answer to type those answers comment section में, तो वो भी चीज़ हो जाएंगी. बाकी जो चीज़ें if you want to discuss live, तो we can discuss that as well. मेरा एक और question था सफ़ा से. सफ़ा, so I see you're friends with many other influencers as well. You guys can group of friends doing things together. So you kind of do giveaways together, follow campaigns. इस तरह की चीज़ें हो रही हैं. So उससे लोगों को लग रहा होता है कि you all of you guys might have same followers, similar kind of following. So do you guys focus on the fact that you should have an individualistic following in terms of that, या फिर आपको क्या इसके बारे में आपका viewpoint होगा?
I think I've been able to probably just do like 2 giveaways where there are people who are sort of exchanging their community. And उसके पीछे भी एक reason ये होता है कि मुझे पता है कि for example Rebellious Brownie for example, उसकी जो audience है वो मुझे audience अच्छी लगती है, and I feel like those people are people who can benefit from my content as well. So I'll do it with them. I won't do it with a person जिसकी audience से relevant ही नहीं होगी, because they will just increase my number and they will not increase in terms of engagement. And as for apart from the giveaways, I think just not even shout outs, but like tagging each other in stories and posts. And because I work with so many of these influencers, I also became friends with so many. And then Utopia happened, which is basically, I know 24 influencers who've traveled with me. So बहुत ज़्यादा हम एक दूसरे के साथ content share वगैरह करते हैं. I think it benefits everybody, and that's why Utopia also worked out, because it benefits even the smaller bloggers and the big bloggers. Audience कहीं भी same नहीं होगी. आपके persona के हिसाब से उनका mood change होता है. For example, if you are a follower of Rebellious Brownie, you're following her for fashion. But when you follow me, you're following me for life advice, or how to on businesses, or how to pick the right person for your team, or maybe how to pick the perfect partner for yourself. So whatever brand you make of yourself, follower उस चीज के लिए आता है. The person, एक बंदे के पास बहुत सारी पर्सनालिटीज भी हो सकती हैं, बहुत सारे शौक भी हो सकते हैं. Same person can be interested in fashion, makeup, coding, medical stuff, so many things. So इस वजह से वो different लोगों को, influencers को I think follow करता है. So क्या कहते हैं उसको, interlap होती है अगर audience, so I think that's okay, that's completely fine.
Cool, makes sense. Mohammed Bashir wants to know, like, how do you guys plan a story for a campaign? If you guys can share some pointers.
For a brand, as an agency for a brand, or as an influencer for a brand?
I think he hasn't mentioned in question, but we can like take it as an influencer for our brand, because you guys mostly obviously are around us.
Okay, so as an influencer for a brand, जब आपको brief मिलता है, जब आपको कोई agency brief देती है कि ये brand का message है, तो सबसे पहले you understand what is that one thing that they want in the message. या usually होता है कि brands की कोई campaign चल रही होती है and they want that thing to be talked about. Sometimes it is a promotion, sometimes it is about TVC that they have released and they just want you to want to talk in the same line. जो TVC से बात हो रही है, sometimes it's some kind of a technical financial product, या फिर service होती है जिसके बारे में आपने बात करनी होती है और आपने उसके benefits बताना. So the first thing you do is you understand कि मुझे वो कौन सा एक या दो या तीन pointers हैं जो brand के pointers हैं which I have to include in it, and then you think कि okay, how can I create something unbranded, or how can I take a very usual story from what I do. I think it will be easier to talk with respect to an example. So, for example, मुझे कोई dish बनानी है. I mean, I do cooking, for example, on my platform. और मेरे पास कोई food related brand है जिसने reach out किया है, जिसका कोई product है जो खाने में डलता है. So, I will just see कि मुझे उस product के बारे में कौन सी main बात कहनी है, मुझे उसकी freshness की बात कहनी है, या मुझे उसके taste की बात कहनी है. And I will just create a usual video, recipe video जो मैं बनाती हूँ अपने platform पे. I'll do that, and in the middle of it, very naturally, I will talk about by the way, जो मुझे ये ingredient use करना था ना, तो मैंने इस company का use किया. Either in real you have been using that ingredient, or when that brand reached out, so you tried it for the first time and you liked it. अब आप उसको दोनों तरीकों से ले सकते हैं. आप बता सकते हैं कि यार ये तो मैं बहुत टाइम से इस्तेमाल कर रहा था, the brand reached out, तो ये तो बहुत ही मजे की collaboration हो गई और मैं इसको use करके बना रहा हूँ, it's really good, you should also try it. या अगर आपने पहली दफा ट्राई किया तो आपने फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं while you are making that video that you usually do. तो आपने अपने रेगुलर स्टाइल में उस ब्रांड के मैसेज को ब्लेंड करना होता है. That's how you do it.
Safa, you want to add to this?
No, I think you covered it all.
Cool. I think we have like 4 minutes left. तो हम लोग yes, एक question है मोहम्मद कुमार का. In your opinion, what is, I think we have talked about it, like the future of digital marketing, obviously, as it's not as successful nowadays as compared to other. I think it's kind of growing. हमने इसके बारे में बात कर ली over a decade, किस तरह से जो है. एक question around the negativity you receive about your content and the brand that you've kind of built on your social media platform. So how do you address that? Safa, you
Initially, I think initially people did not understand me, and it wasn't exactly hatred. It was just sort of trolling, and it came from a place of their own insecurities, I believe. And every time, by the way, I do get like a weird DM or like a weird comment, I always try to question them, like, what happened in your childhood that made you so bitter or whatever. But I think hatred as such nahi mili, because I don't think I'm doing anything out of the box, which is sort of say so much about myself. But hatred, agar aapko mil bhi rahi hai, for example, if you're afraid of putting yourself out there, you become a public profile. There are lots of people who, misuse your images or make fake accounts or just send you like weird hate. Um, it'll be easier to say than doing it. Ignore करें उसको सबसे पहले. Dusra, just kind of tune out of it, because then you also have to understand that you have to love yourself and love what you're doing. Again, a workshop that we do in Utopia also, it's all about self-love for influencers. कि अगर आपको 10 लोगों में से 8 लोग तारीफ करें और 2 लोग हेट दे रहे हैं, तो उन 2 लोगों को इग्नोर करें, ब्लॉक करें, डिलीट करें, वो जगह खाली कर दें ताकि कोई और 2 आ जाएं, और जो 8 लोग हैं उन पे फोकस करें. एज ह्यूमन नेचर वी ऑल्सो टेंड टू फोकस ऑन द नेगेटिविटी, एकदम से कि यार उसने मुझे बुरा बोला, बट बाकी जो 8 तारीफें करें उनको हम फोकस नहीं करते. सो आई थिंक ये एक ह्यूमन तरीके से आपको उसको देखना पड़ेगा. हाउ डू यू बिकम मोर कॉन्फिडेंट विद योर सेल्फ, हाउ डू यू ट्यून आउट द हेट्रेड. That hatred comes from a place of nowhere. They don't know you, they don't know your life, their assumptions, their conclusions. You should ignore, block, delete, whatever you have to do to keep yourself sane, do it. And continue doing things that make you feel better. It's again a look into your life, not someone else's. So you're not there to please everybody. That is not how lives work.
Great.
Some wise person said that if you are pleasing everybody, then you're not doing anything good. If you're doing anything good with your life, there will be somebody who would be mad at you. So if you're getting some hate in your mail, just ignore it and just keep in mind that you're doing good.
You've got stalkers and fans.
Yeah.
मेरा एक last question होगा. It's my attempt to be funny. So 3 things you should never ask if you're a brand or an agency and want to do a campaign with influencers like you. तो क्या 3 चीजें होंगी? I know बहुत weird request आ रही होती है, but top 3 things आपके mind में इस वक्त क्या जल्दी आएंगी?
जो influencers हमसे ना पूछें.
जो influencer से agencies या brands who want to work with you वो ना पूछें. वो बहुत ही weird request जो इस तरह की होती हैं जो अभी mind में आ जाएंगे.
माइंड में आती है फौरन दे दें कंटेंट. एक तो होता है जो ब्रांड्स और एजेंसीज को होता है ना, इन्फ्लुएंसर को, यार मैं अभी आपको ब्रीफ कर रही हूँ, मुझे फौरन दे दें, रात को पोस्ट करना है. आई थिंक दैट इज वन थिंग. डोंट बी अनरियलिस्टिक. दूसरा, अभी बजट नहीं है, अभी के लिए कर दें, नेक्स्ट वाले में आपको अकोमोडेट कर देंगे. डोंट डू दैट. दैट इज जस्ट नॉट ओके. लाइक हाउ इज दैट ओके? आई थिंक थर्ड वुड बी I think just sort of like not making a point. Hey, I want to talk to you. Like lots of small brands sort of are to us. Hey, reply me. I want to talk to you. I want to send you stuff. So please give me shout out. Arey bhai, I don't want your product or whatever it is. So you have to do it in a very professional way. Send a person an email or send a proper message. This is my brand about. I want to do this. This is what I'm doing. Blah blah blah. So I think these are the top 3 things I can think of right now. I'm sure there are hundreds of them. But sure, yeah. If I do them, I'll text you later, okay?
I know you wanna add if you have.
I think those were the top things in my mind. एक तो timing वाला कि बस अभी तो दे दें, आप फौरन दे दें, और yeah, I think that would be my main one. And yeah, ये भी बहुत होता है कि yeah, we really want to collab with you और हमारा ये product है और आप please हमें Instagram पे post लगा दें. I mean, I think like it should. अगर आप ब्रांड हैं या एजेंसी हैं, कोई भी आप रीच आउट करें, यू शुड फर्स्ट चेक कि वो इन्फ्लुएंसर वो प्रोडक्ट यूज करता है, या हो सकता है वो आपका प्रोडक्ट या उसका वो लाइफस्टाइल से मैच ही नहीं हो रहा. आई मीन इफ यू टॉक अबाउट if you don't talk about fashion, let's say, it will be really strange for a fashion brand to reach out, या makeup brand for somebody who just don't use makeup. So I think ये चीजें बहुत होती हैं, like irrelevant request जिनसे आपको लगता है कि उन्होंने आपका प्रोफाइल देखा ही नहीं है, that what you do. So yeah.
I think I'll add one more. एकदम से याद आ गया. So a lot of people just copy paste a message and send it to everybody. So I got one person send me Safa and Transit a message, Mad Media a message, and Utopia a message. There are 3 businesses, right? And the same message. Hi, dear. Want to collab with you? I have a blog. I have 12K followers, and I would love to review your products. I'm like, first of all, I'm not a product. Mad Media does not have a product. Utopia does not have a product. Who were you trying to email? So I think put some thought into it. Don't copy paste everything. And hopefully it'll work out.
Awesome. I think 1.5 घंटा गुजर गया हमारा. I was kind of freaking out को 1.5 घंटा कैसे गुजरा गया, but all thanks to both of you. काफी
Thank you
questions
so
ही हमने
much
कर
for
लिए.
having me. Honestly,
Yeah,
I thought
thank
Jaha-
you so much.
1.5 घंटा I thought
It was great. I had a wonderful time listening to all 3 of you. Shahbaz, very good job of moderating these 2 awesome women. And I'm sure a lot of people learned a lot. Thank you so much for sparing the time. I know both of you are very busy. And maybe we'll do it
Thank
again.
you so much. Thank you so much. You've been a very patient listener. I didn't know you were there just quietly listening the whole thing. That's right. That's right.
Shahbaz was doing such a great job. I didn't have to ask any questions. So,
Oh,
It's kind of
yeah,
freaky.
yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you so much, guys.
And
Bye-bye.
thank you for such
Bye.
influence for us. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.